Is it weird that my 22F boyfriend's 30M dad asked about my sex life? Today my boyfriend's 30M dad and I, 22F, went for a walk in the mountains. I've spent the last few days with them to meet them for the first time. While we were on this walk, he asked me about my sex life with his son, my boyfriend. He asked me if his son satisfies me in the bedroom. And he asked if my libido was higher or lower than his. He also asked about whether I was adventurous or not in the bedroom. And if I nag him for sex. He said men don't like a woman that nags men for sex. I'm also a Christian, and my boyfriend's family isn't religious. My boyfriend's dad also asked if I was going to make his son wait for sex until marriage. If we weren't already having sex. We are having sex. But I just felt weird talking about all this with his dad, who I had just met for the first time. I answered his questions because I felt a bit awkward and felt that I had to. But I also said my family is a bit conservative and we don't usually talk about these things. My boyfriend's dad said it's important to talk about and that's why he brought it up. But I can't help but feel it was a bit inappropriate. I'm not sure if I should tell my boyfriend that his dad asked me these questions. Or if I should just leave it and forget about it. I've never had this happen before and was wondering if this is normal. This is most certainly not normal. And I'd be worried he's trying to start something with you. Tell your boyfriend what his dad asked. And that you don't feel comfortable being alone with his dad. And you should definitely never be alone with this man because he clearly is interested in you and he has already demonstrated that he does not respect reasonable boundaries. And even if he wouldn't do something like that, it's not worth taking the chance. Tell him, this is extremely weird and inappropriate. Yes, you need to tell your boyfriend, even if his family is very open about sex. And sex positive. He needs to know, at the very least, you deserve to feel safe. This conversation didn't sit right with you. And there's a reason for that. Trust your instincts. Tell him, because you will never feel safe around that man again. And he needs to know that. He was wrong to ask you anything about your sex life. Period. That is insanely personal and crosses cultural, societal, and polite boundaries. There is no reason in the world where he needs to know anything about your sex life. Even if it is with his son. Especially since it is with his son. How your boyfriend reacts is important here. If he laughs it off and says, "Yeah, that's my dad," like it's a joke, that's a red flag. If he doesn't believe you, that is his denial and you could be left with this man alone in the future. Which is unsafe. If he tries to throw it under the rug, that's a red flag. If he listens, and sincerely talks to you, and takes actions to make sure you feel safe and supported, then you know he's a keeper. But be aware this could be very emotional for him to hear. Don't judge based on his first emotional response so much as how he handles that emotional gut punch. Your instincts sound good. Only you know what will help you. However, at the very least, your BF deserves to know what his father did. He may have done this to other young women his son took home, who didn't have the courage to tell him. I would have stopped walking, stared at him and asked why he thinks this topic of conversation is in any way appropriate. Then ask his wife similar questions in front of him. Ask your BF if dad has had a stroke or TBI that would explain his inappropriate behavior. Everything about this made me feel so icky. That is super weird and super uncomfortable. Op. Never ever feel like you have to answer questions that make you uncomfortable or you don't wish to answer. I'd let your partner know what happened and that it made you uncomfortable. Hopefully, he can do the right thing and have your back and have a word with his parents. Your 30-year-old boyfriend can bring it up if it's important. This is weird and creepy at best and a likely prelude to more inappropriate behavior. All of his questions are geared towards asking if you're sexually active, i.e., not a virgin, and if you are unsatisfied by your sex life with his son. He's basically trying to find out if you'd be open to having sex outside of your relationship with his son, i.e., with him. He's not being weird. He's being creepy and predatory. 1. Extremely inappropriate and awkward for his dad to have said any of that to you. Especially in a one-on-one situation. And especially since you've just met his parents. 2. Tell your boyfriend. He needs to know how inappropriate his dad is. Telling him will also tell you if he knew his dad was going to say something like that and he's okay with it, or if he also thinks it was wrong and inappropriate to say or ask any of that. And if your BF is okay with this line of questioning from his dad, run for the hills. My family's not religious. And my husband isn't. Some of his family is though. But there is no way my mom would ever say or ask my husband anything like that. And she never filters a thing she says, thinks. That gives off completely creepy, I want my son's girlfriend, vibes to me. Ick. In no way is this appropriate. Next thing you know he will be walking in on you in the shower, by accident. Your BF's dad is trying to hook up with you. This is so weird. Hun, the fact that you had to post about it. You know that's not normal or okay. Talk to your boyfriend about it and let him know that it's obviously upset you and it's weird as hell. If he doesn't handle that, I wouldn't dump him. You gotta think long term. This could be someone you are potentially married to, stuck with long term, being that when you're with someone their sometimes creepy family is attached right along with them. I am the father of adult children. That's not normal. That's wildly inappropriate. What a fucking creep. Were you on a walk alone with this absolute weirdo? Please tell your boyfriend. He asked me if his son satisfies me in the bedroom. And he asked if my libido was higher or lower than his. He also asked about whether I was adventurous or not in the bedroom. I think his dad wants to bang you. All weird. Also, men really don't like women that ask for sex in a relationship? Is that a thing? This feels like the dad was building his only little sexual fantasy about you with such intrusive and inappropriate questions. Please stay away from him. Don't be alone with him again. Tell your partner. It starts with the bold questions. Before he takes it further and does something physical, don't let it get to that. What the fuck? This is not normal. Tell your boyfriend. Regardless of religion or no religion. This is not normal. Location flag. The dad is so out of line and you should avoid him at all costs. I would tell your BF.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.